Hey everybody, I'm going to attempt to sort of do a galaxy background on this mug. I've been playing around with the whole galaxy stuff and I've been putting it on cards and I'm in love with this technique. And I just thought it would be really fun to maybe try to take it a step further and do some galaxy type backgrounds on other things. Now I have a mug here in my craft room that I usually stick my heat gun in when I'm not using it. I thought I'd go ahead and just try to paint this mug, make it look like sort of galaxy. I have to say I don't know how this would work on a mug that you actually want to use to drink out of. You might need to put some kind of sealant over this paint. You might need to heat set it in the oven. I haven't tried this before, so I don't know if it would be safe for food use. I don't know if it would be safe in the dishwasher, but I think if you want just a decorative mug, maybe put a candle in it, put your craft supplies or pens or something in it, it should probably be fine. So I'm going to show you kind of what I'm thinking. Hopefully it'll turn out and give you a little inspiration for your own type of galaxy DIY crafts. So first step here is I have a few paintbrushes and I have my Tattered Angels Decor and DIY paint. Now usually when I'm doing a galaxy background on a piece of paper, I kind of, first of all, put down my colors, and I'm starting with a white background on a piece of paper. So I put my colors down first on the white, and then I cover it with the darker color, and then I splatter on the paint for the stars. Now I'm already working with a dark mug, so I want to put my light colors on. So I'm going to start with my white paint, and then I'm going to be putting on my colors from Brutus Monroe. If I tried to put this right on the black, you're not going to see it, so that's why I have to put the paint down first. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of this Tattered Angels DIY and Decor paint. This paint has actually been used up. So this is usually the one that I use just to splatter and stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of use this on my mug, and I just want to put light little taps all around my mug. Now I'm kind of building where I want my colors to go. So it's going to be really random. Kind of make it kind of like a swirl here and there. And I'm going to do one side at a time. Kind of do it really light here and there. Just random. See how it works. Now I'm using a sponge because I kind of like that speckled look in the background. I think it's easier to apply and get sort of the galaxy feel to it. So I'm going to go ahead with that. I'm going to grab my heat gun and just dry it real quick. So I have that done. And I'm just going to go ahead and just take a regular ink blending tool and use my ink blending foam. And I'm using a little bit of orange here. I have red on the inside, so I kind of wanted something to go with that orange. So I'm just going to go ahead with this. You're going to tap a little bit of color on here and there. You don't have to color everything that you painted. It looks kind of nice if you leave a little bit of white shining through in here and there. You can kind of swirl it, you can kind of tap it on. The more you put on, the more intense color you're going to get. So I'm just going to go ahead and randomly tap on some color to color some of the edges of this white paint that I put down. So I'm going to go ahead and dry that as well. Now if I had another color, maybe like yellow or something, I would go ahead and blend that on as well. I did think about putting some purple on there or something, but I don't like using colors that are totally different because when they blend they kind of just make that muddy color. So I'm just going to go ahead with the orange right now and then dry it up. So I don't know if that's totally dry, but for the sake of moving this along, I'm just going to show you the last step of just splattering on some paint. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this watered down paint here on a paintbrush. I don't want a lot because I want small flecks of paint And just gently flick this paintbrush on, and it's going to sort of cover that background, giving it lots of little specks of paint to make it look like stars in a starry galaxy. And don't be afraid to put tons of specks on here. Get lots of stars. If you want some bigger stars, use a little bit more force and a little bit more paint. You'll get some bigger spots. And then that's about it. So then you would just go ahead and dry that up and you have a galaxy mug. Now, like I said, you might want to heat set this. You might want to set this in the oven or spray some kind of coating on it to make it stay. I'm just going to dry it with my heat gun. And that's it. There's your galaxy mug. Now for the sake of showing you what different colors look like, I'm going to go ahead and use some purple and some locomotive on this side. So I'm going to have orange on this side and a different color on this side. But I really love the combination of the purple and the locomotive. The locomotive is a really, oh, that's too watery, really dark blue. And I really love that color. It's, let me get a little bit of this here going. Just in random order, tap it on. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and dry that up. Okay. Now you can see the paint I used to tap this on was a little bit watered down, and at first I didn't think it would look as good, but I kind of like that look. It looks sort of like clouds or marbled effect, which it almost looks pretty cool, like a galaxy in itself. But I'm going to go ahead and put on that color so you can see it. I'm going to get some of that purple and locomotive. I'm going to start with the lighter color. Get some of my aubergine, Brutus Monroe. Kind of tap that on. I prefer to tap it on rather than to swirl it on, just because the paint that I'm using behind it isn't totally set, so I don't really want to wipe it off. So I'm just going to go ahead and just tap it on. But if you get a good amount on your foam brush here, it really shouldn't matter. You should be able to easily put it on. And you might want to practice some different galaxy backgrounds on paper before you go ahead and take it to your mug. But if you end up totally hating your mug, don't worry, because this is actually the second time I did this mug. The first time I didn't like it, so I took some rubbing alcohol and I cleaned it all down and it all came off perfectly. So when I say you want to maybe put some kind of sealant over it, that's why. It's not permanent right now. It might need to be heat set in the oven. It might need some kind of sealant on it. So I guess I don't really know exactly what it might need. So go ahead and kind of research that and see what you can put over it to make it permanent or food safe. Because as of right now, I wouldn't say it's food safe with all the paint on it and the ink. I wouldn't want to use it to eat out of, but for me, I'm just going to be storing some craft supplies in there. So there's the aubergine and the locomotive. I really like that purple and that really dark dark locomotive on there. I think they just work together really well. And up here I left a few little white spots that are lighter, so you really get that really awesome galaxy effect. So the only last part to do is to spray on or to sprinkle on some of those little stars. So I want to clean off a lot of that from my brush. I don't want too much on because I want little specks, not the big ones. So gently, gently just flicking on some paint spots. I guess I didn't mention it, but I am just using the lid to that paint container to kind of flick this on. You can use your finger, you can use an acrylic block or whatever you have on hand, but I thought my paint lid is already so messy, I might as well just go and use it. Okay, I think I want to put some more spots right here, so I'm going to go like this. Just hold it up. I want to get some on the handle. Just totally cover this mug with stars. And I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this. I know I picked the orange because I wanted to sort of coordinate with the red, but I actually really love this purple side. I think I like the way that one turned out better. So you might just want to play around. You might surprise yourself with what turns out and what doesn't. Just definitely try a bunch of different colors, different color combinations. Just use your imagination. It's really fun. You can never really go wrong. I mean, it's just such a fun, easy technique. So hopefully this inspires you to use those inks and your paints in ways that's other than your paper or something that's a little out of the ordinary. And I'm going to use this in my craft room just to store my heat gun in and different tools in. But like I said, I know I've said it a few times, if you want to use your mug to actually use food in, make sure, do a little research beforehand, find a sealant that is food safe and some way to kind of make this permanent. Otherwise, if you put it in the dishwasher, if you drink out of it, some of this ink, some of this paint might come up and it might not be safe. So just do a little research beforehand to make sure that this will be food safe when you're done with it. But for me, I'm just using it in my craft room, so I'm not going to worry about it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this gives you some ideas. If you know what kind of sealant or how to make it food safe, go ahead and comment below because I'm not sure of how to do that, and maybe some of the other viewers might like to see that. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you next time.